Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm your host, Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining me at the market site in Times Square, we have Eric Haller. He is the Global Head of Experian DataLabs. We're going to take a look at the future of credit in today's digital world. Eric, it's great to have you with us at the market site. And it's so interesting, when you think about credit, you don't think of all the fintech that goes behind it. So how is artificial intelligence and a new technology like machine learning impacting credit?
Well, in a couple ways. First of all, when it comes to scoring, actually being more predictive in using, when you have less data, trying to overlay it with artificial intelligence gives you better results. The other way is in reducing how much time it takes to get credit, the amount of effort that it takes place, and orienting that credit experience at the time when we want it. So being able to leverage information that you would normally be captured, like through your mobile device, and putting you in an environment where you can get that credit right away.
All right, now we all know Experian as one of the agencies that protects our data and our credit and so forth. Give us a background on what Experian DataLabs is and what your role is at Experian.
So Experian itself is a company of 17,000 employees. We do business in 40 countries, and as you said, we're very much in the role of consumer credit. Experian DataLabs is all about breakthrough experimentation across all of our businesses and all of our geographies. It's about taking things like artificial intelligence and innovating around new products to bring them to market.
All right, and what types of initiatives are you currently undertaking in this area of credit?
So as I was talking about AI and having that impact on timing and effort, we're looking at a variety of ways that we can improve that process. So for example, when traditionally you've been in a retailer and you get to the point of sale and you're about ready to buy your goods and somebody says, do you have a card with us, would you like it at the point of sale? That's technology that is 20 years or more older. So what we've done is we've created an environment where you can, in the privacy, at your own privacy and discretion, apply for credit using your mobile device quickly, easily, without much information being provided by you, and getting your result before you ever get to the register. Another way that we do it is with voice. And so if you have one of those Amazon Echo devices in your house or a Google smart speaker, what we're doing is that we're marrying that with display. So as you're watching TV and you might see something that triggers your thought of, I wonder if I could apply for credit for that. Like I see a new automobile on television. You can talk to your Alexa device or your Google device. We'll authenticate you, and then we'll put you through a very quick instant credit experience while rendering your options on your television.
That's amazing. And then we'll also connect you to potential dealers or potential merchants as this credit process is taking place?
Very much so, and this is all in the experimental phase right now where we're developing these things in our labs, but very quickly can we take that approved letter of credit and then route it to the dealership of your choice. So then when you walk into an auto dealership, you're not haggling over the loan terms in the back office somewhere. You're walking in with a firm offer of credit, and it was all something that you could have done just by using your voice while watching television.
That's amazing. I talk to my Alexa all the time. So I better be careful what I wish for with her. All right, now augmented and virtual reality, that's also being used for credit.
Yeah, so again, we're in the experimental phases. Unlike voice, where the use of those speakers are becoming more prolific in the households across the US, augmented reality using things like Magic Leap's lightwear or Oculus or Microsoft HoloLens. We've seen Google experiment it with OK Glass. We saw Snapchat experiment with the Snap Specs. But those things are really not prolific in the market yet. But what we've been able to do is, like in an augmented reality scenario or mixed reality, is when you're looking at that car, you can actually see the terms. That what we'll do is use computer vision. We'll take that image of that car, we'll go to a database, we'll figure out what the terms are around that car, how much it costs. We'll look at your credit as you opt in, and then be able to provide those terms in your glasses while you're looking at the car. As you go from car to car to car, it'll change, and you can get a feel for what kind of payment you're looking at.
All right, and to wrap up, what does it look like in the next 5 years?
Well, we think it's more of this. It's all about driving the timing and effort down, that convenience factor up. It's also about making sure that the information that we do capture gives you the best chance at the credit that you deserve. So recent products that we've put out, like Boost and Lyft, where we're looking at the Americans with a small credit footprint, 40 million Americans are underserved today in the US. We're allowing things like rental payments and utility trades being used at the consumer's discretion to see if it boosts up their credit score. It's those kinds of things, whether it's going to be more convenience or about giving the consumer control over their own data, that will allow, that's what we see happening over the next 5 years.
All right, and of course the obvious question is, how safe and how private is my data?
So obviously, the safety and security of our credit bureaus, I call it the Fort Knox of information. We always stay on the cutting edge of what it takes to keep our data encrypted and safe and secure and surveil for attacks and be able to be on the cutting edge of that. But I'd say on the privacy side, what we see across the globe is this obvious trend for consumers to have more control and discretion over their own information, what they want to keep private and what they want to share to their benefit. And so we're building products like that in London, in Sao Paulo, and Singapore, and bringing them here in the US, where those trends are a little bit ahead of the US actually, and we're pulling those products in here.
All right, Eric, thanks so much for joining us at MarketSite. And thank you for joining me on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.